Damo.
I'm cool. I'm just.
And we are financially lit. So what's some ideas you have to get back into the youth in our community?
Well, yeah, so from the 3E brand, I know, because for the 3E brand, it's not just going to be 3E Management Solutions where it's just one company. We have a list of companies that's going to be gradually opening and we're launching and whatnot. And that's one of the things that I am going to do. I think the biggest thing we need to do as a community and as a people, we need to stop being afraid to talk about this. When you in a household, you get up. I ain't gonna say black families in general.
Right,
you come home, get off work, you dissect, see if your kid's all right, go to bed. Yeah. That's it. It takes literally 20 minutes to go, hey, what? So you spent that money there, or I saw you were thinking about buying this or whatever. Why did you do that, or whatever the case may be? Let me educate you to show you why you shouldn't have purchased that, or what you could spend your money on smarter instead of again assets and liabilities. Yeah. So to answer your question, Damo, I think first off we need to start educating kids on a regular basis, not just as a regular school curriculum, 6 months, summer, that's it. No, it needs to be a small piece every day to where it's a habit, not a school lesson. When you make it kid friendly and you go dissect it and you can dissect it at a small rate, not something that's complex. You make it fun. Play board games or do flashcards, those types of things. It's one of my I call it virtual mentors, Derek Grace. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but basically he has a game called I forgot the name of the game, but basically it's a board game. Kids can learn from it and they learn about financial literacy. I can't think of it, but I think I want to say in-home banking.
In-home banking.
Yeah. So just doing that, those types of things, and making it fun for the kids instead of it being a financial lesson.
Don't have it so boring.
Yeah, correct. Because let's be all the way transparent. Money ain't the best. It ain't the most fun topic. It's not. But when you show them the not only the education but the leverage behind it and what it can do to change your life. Right. That's when I think you really can tap into the youth and go, oh, so I can really go get that car just by having that 650 or 700 credit score. So I can go get that big house that I dream of when I get older to do that type of thing. So I think education, and then also just education and doing it in an everyday basis. That's the most minimal thing I say you can do.
Yeah. Growing up, my parents taught me through allowance. I don't know if families still do that.
Yeah,
I don't have kids to be like, here, you work for this. You do.
I do it with my 7-year-old.
Yeah,
100%.
But I got god kids. Like my godson, he wants to be a rapper.
Right.
And he need that studio time.
He actually
and he's good. And he's good. And instead of me being kind of in a way, when he said it, I could have put it in a way like, well, how you gonna pay me? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, right.
Yeah. But instead I was like, all right, for every A you get this money.
Invest in him.
For every B you get this amount of money. Yeah. So you gotta work towards something to invest back into yourself.
Correct. Correct. And what you give out, it comes right back
in.
And when you don't expect anything, that's the real genuine part about it.
Right.
You give out that money to invest in him, you don't know what that can do to him.
Exactly.
It ain't the value, the dollar value that's important.
Yeah.
It's his mindset.
Yeah.
He go, wait, somebody believe in me?
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody believe in me at 7 years old?
Right.
As a young black man that's doing rapping, and nothing against him, but 1 million people doing it, and my godmom is actually supporting me?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm about to keep this thing going.
Yeah. When he said it, he was like, I could have easily just be like, here you go.
Yeah.
Your sessions. I'm like, no, this what we're gonna do.
100%.
For every A you get, for every B you get, this how much money you get, and
right.
You put that right back into your music.
And furthermore, you building legacies that you don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
You building the power of the dollar. Listen, keep going. I'm sorry.
And I know, like, growing up for me, like, well, I got in the workforce at 14. I did like stuff for aunt had a floral shop, so I go every weekend. I clean wherever money she get. I put it towards my basketball shoes. Even though my parents had money,
right?
My dad's an engineer. My mom, well, at the time she wasn't doing real estate, but she had a business and. Basically, we were middle class,
right?
So they could have just gave it to me,
right?
But my dad wanted to teach me about working to get the things that I want and investing back into myself. At that time, I wanted to be a hooper.
Don't even give me some.
All my money was going to my gear, my shoes, but that taught me where to put my money.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
In the right places.
And as I got older, I've had a few different. Business adventures and stuff like that where I just put the money back into myself. I learned wants and needs at an early age. Yeah, you can get the Jordans, but there's some Nikes over here.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My dad used to tell us, my dad used to get on us all the time. He'd be like, if y'all don't look, I'm about to go get y'all them little Pokemon light ups.
Hey, the little Sketcher light up.
Because all you need is just some shoes.
I know.
You paying for the logo. You ain't paying for the.
And what he really taught you is materialistic things that important?
Exactly.
When you really think about it, are they that important? Is it the materialistic things or is it your ego? Is it the materialistic things or insecurities? Because most of the time that people do those things, it's not for them. They buying that stuff to go, oh, look at me. I got the nicest outfit. I got the nicest car. But deep down, you going, man, this girl just told me I'm ugly and I don't know what to do about it. I don't know what to do about it.
But yeah, I appreciate, my parents doing that to me. And I'm thinking about ways when I start my family and having kids, ways to do it because you got to think of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, from small.
Right. You got to think of new and improved ways of teaching people stuff because technology's different now. God. You got kids at 3 years old on YouTube.
You got 7-year-olds that's making millions of dollars.
My son already know how to work YouTube.
Open up boxes of toys.
Yeah.
I forgot the kid name.
I know you talking. Yeah. He made like $4 million last year.
I read Gary Vaynerchuk's.
Yes.
A little kid.
Man,
all he doing is playing with toys. Kids are watching him playing with toys all day.
Yes, I read Gary Vaynerchuk. I don't know I'm sure you guys are familiar, but Gary Vaynerchuk book called Crushing It. Basically, it's a blueprint to show businesses how to scale on social media, how to engage with your social media communities and whatnot. If you haven't read it, please do.
Okay.
But I was saying that to say he was in the book, the 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Do y'all know the origin how it even started?
No.
So how it started was the guy was working for some company. I forgot the dad.
Yeah.
And the dad,
technology company.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
The dad literally was like, man, I want to do some fun with my son on the weekend. Well, let's go start a YouTube page. Let's record him open up a box of toys.
Yeah.
Bro, he got like, I think 250,000 views off that one video. And he was like, oh wait, this is something. Bro, fast forward, like you just said, just by them doing that alone, they're making $4 million, $10 million off of just those videos.
Yeah.
Let's not even get into the cross marketing, the advertisements, the collaborations. Like, come on, like it's just consistent, creative income to where you go. I know I'm not in one realm. I can go in several realms and still
be good.
Exactly.
And we can say as much negative things about that as you could possibly want to, but at the end of the day, all I see is generational wealth.
Come on,
for sure.
Financial freedom.
Come on.
Investing in yourself.
Come on.
And he's only 4.
Come on. So do you? And let's
take it like that.
So even take it a step further. The biggest thing is, generations behind that is gonna be good, forever.
Family.
And he doesn't even fully process. He doesn't even fully process.
He sees toys every day.
He's thinking he's opening up toys. Like, my dad just got me a new toy today. I'm good.
Think about how toys in the world.
What? Stop it, man.
I think they sample they send him like stuff before it even gets on the store.
He like test marketing.
Correct. So they
get money.
I think at the beginning they were just doing just buying random toys, but now it's companies that's sending them that.
He's seeing first on the shelf.
Yeah.
You know what that is? That's the businesses looking at what they did and saying, "Oh, we gotta jump on this." So before we make these toys,
we need to get the social influencer that's got all his marketing behind and community.
Yeah, but like you're saying though, like with him doing that, with them sending them toys, they already getting sold before they even made.
Correct.
Yeah.
You're correct.
So he playing with them before they even made.
Right.
As soon as they hit the shelf, they sold
That's
out.
sold out. Just based by him leveraging his personal brand, and that's why I appreciate the importance of collaboration and marketing yourself too, and providing valuable content. Because if you do that, you may get annoying to some people, but for the most part, you never know what that one piece of content could do for somebody's life. They're like, wait, 30% of my credit utilization is all I need to use to get approved for that loan. That could change. That could change generations, not just one person, generations. Because they now had that one piece of knowledge to change their financial life and get involved in financial literacy. So,
a question I wanted to ask for you.
Yes, sir.
What led you to being a credit repair person?
Gotcha. So, I went to school, 3 different schools actually. I went to Eastern Michigan, University of Cincinnati, Owens Community College, and also I'm missing one. I can't think of it. Oh, it was a small.
How did you do that for you?
Yeah, exactly.
How did you do that for you? I
it was 4.
Yeah. He just said
4 of them. But fast forward to the story. I had 92 credits. So I transferred to the last school. I moved to Florence, Kentucky for about last year, for about a good 10 months. And 50% of my credits didn't transfer over because I was out of state. So my Ohio credits did not transfer over to Kentucky. So now I have to retake those courses over. So at this point, I'm 4 or 5 years into school, and I'm like, and I'm $65,000 in student loan debt. So I go, man, let me just have an honest conversation with my advisor. Let me see, like, really get some real guidance and see what I can do. I'll never forget this. This conversation changed my life. I asked my advisor, I said, just be bluntly honest with me. Is this really worth it? Like, with the degree that I'm going in, you know my timeline, you know what happened. Is it really worth it? And the lady, she was a 27, 28-year-old. This was her first counseling advisor job. So she's young, so she's going to keep it fresh. She's not going to sugarcoat anything. She goes, stop. She said, stop going to school. She said, you told me what you do on an everyday basis. You told me how you read books, study YouTube, have these mentors online, and you say you want to launch this business. Invest in yourself.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Black lady.
Okay.
She told me that, and fast forward, do you guys know who Jay Morrison is?
Yep.
So he has a curriculum called the RBC Academy. That curriculum is supposed to be 3 months long. I was so engaged with it, bro. I got it done in 2 weeks.
What?
I got it done in 2 weeks. Now, I don't say that to brag. I say that to go, this information was so valuable, man. I couldn't pass it up. I can't. So it's called Real Estate Business and Credit Curriculum. RBC. Okay. I went towards credit, and the reason why I went towards credit, well, real estate and credit, it's a recession-proof business. But on top of that, as a black community, we are eons behind. Like, I can't even a number can't even tell you how far behind we are.
And it's just to be brutally honest, like, that's just what it
is.
100%. That's what it is.
100%. And when you put again, we talked about this earlier, when you put your ego to the side and go, how important this is for not just us, for our generations that come behind us, and also for the endeavors that we do, it's vital. Like, it's not like we talked about this earlier, it's not a want no more. It's a need. You have to have good credit. And what it led me to do is going, you know what, man? How can I be? How can I help my community, but also help my family?
Yourself.
And when I repaired my wife's credit, when I started repairing my own credit, I noticed it. I said, why can't I do this for a million people or other people? And then fast forward now, we're going through this pandemic, or whatever you want to call it. And I told you at this beginning, this is a blessing in disguise. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna bet on my last name. I'm gonna bet on my legacy, and I'm going head all in. I got enough money put to the side to where me and my family gonna be stable. Let's get to it. Let's get after it. And then here we are, 3E Management Solutions.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Lord. Appreciate it.
What's the steps? Like, if someone wanted to or was interested, what's the steps taken?
So first off, what we do is we have a consultation. So it's a consultation process to where you go to our website, you fill out a little form, basically your personal information, and then once we get that, we have you sign up for a credit monitoring service. So what a credit monitoring service is, basically they give you all 3 credit bureaus with your accurate real-time credit scores, to where we can analyze it and even see if we can provide you services. And the reason for that is we don't want to make it seem like we're just throwing a product on you. You gotta pay the starter fee with us, and we don't even know if we can even offer you our services. So once we do that consultation with you and we see what we can do to improve your scores and also what we can teach you, then we go into the game plans, which is we give you a time frame on when we think we can remove these negative items, and then also on top of that, like we were talking earlier about the personal credit funding and the business credit funding, we tell you what we can leverage to get you those funds and get you to the goals that you actually have. Once that's done, you can just pay for the service through us, and then at that point, you just give us your personal information, a couple documents we need, and we handle everything else. And then we have a client portal to where you can go on our website and check 24/7 to see the negative items that are actually dropping off your report. So the communication, yes, we are very communicative with our clients and whatnot, but for the most part, I mean, you see everything we see, so it's complete transparency. Everything is ethical, and we pride ourselves in just providing that best valuable service to our clients.
Okay.
Is it a debt too high that you can't work on, like for
No.
people that got like?
It's all about what type of items you have in your report, and then also what your goals are. So I might have somebody who comes to me and they have a 500 credit score and they're trying to get approved for a house now. Now that depends on if you're going. Yeah, you might be able to get an FHA loan for 3% down or 5% down, but what are your interest rates going to be on that loan?
Sure.
Can you sit down for another 6 months or 12 months to get your credit in order, so you can save $150,000 to $250,000 over those next 30 years versus not having to do any of that?
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the typical score increase that? I want to make sure I'm saying it right. What's the typical score increase someone can expect working with you for, let's say, that 6 months to a year?
Well, just for complete transparency, I never put a number on that, just because I kid you not, every client credit report is different. From bankruptcies to collection accounts, credit card, like it's different every time. But from the clients that I worked with, on a 6-month span, we usually get anywhere from 90 points to about 150 to 200. Now it can go above that. However, but like I said, from personal experience, that's what we had, and also, you never know with the time frame. So we might be able to do some stuff where we can extend it even more. It's just all about your goals and what you're looking for within our company.
So let's look at it like this. Say, I don't want to throw no names out, but let's
stop it.
Let's say let's say someone filed bankruptcy, but they have a decent amount of money. What man, where's I getting that?
Come on, I'm here.
Can they still get approved for certain loans?
Yeah. So when you go through bankruptcy, it's just basically a complete restart of your credit history. So you go through and actually it's several different bankruptcies. So that's again, I'm not the smartest one, so that's all lawyer talk or attorney talk, because once you file for that bankruptcy and it actually goes through, it's basically you're starting over your credit history, but you have that bankruptcy on there for 10 years.
Right.
But to answer your question, yes, most definitely you get loans. There's so many financial products when you actually go do your homework and call up these companies, no matter who it is, it's always something for somebody. It's just how much do you want to overpay, or how much do you want to pay, and at the same time, are you patient enough to go, I can build up my credit again, I just have to be smart about it.
And the level I was getting at is like rappers or like famous people.
Listen,
that's what they do.
Can man, let me tell you something. I'm about to drop. And I got family members who rappers, successful, to be honest. But yeah, another thing that I feel is a void, or that's not being tapped into rappers in general. I think any industry in general, if you're an photographer, videographer, rapper, anything. Instead of you going on social media and just posting your video or your new music, stop spending your own money. And the reason why you stop spending your own money because you only got so much money for your budget. Right, so that means for you, if you got merch, if you got shows that you got to fund or whatever the case may be.
Right.
It's only so much money that you have.
Right.
So let's go on the reverse side of that. Why don't you go, wait, I do get royalty checks for my music, right?
Right.
Let's go put that all on the business LLC in a bank account. Then let me build that up for, let's say, 3 to 6 months. Now let me go to Fifth Third Bank and go, look, you see my music and my report is building within this account. Let me get in position to make sure I'm bank compliant.
Yeah.
And let me go apply for this loan or this credit card. That rapper from Toledo get approved for $25,000. He go sign up for YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram ads. Now he can run those all month. Not pay any money out of his pocket. His royalties are paying for that. So let's take it a step further. His royalties pay for that, and he builds credit history and his length of, or his payments are on time. So the bank go, he's a rapper, but he looks pretty legit to me.
Right.
He takes that information and that to another bank. He get approved for another $50,000. Now he get approved for that $50,000. He can go pay for that van that he want to take him and his team with to go to these shows.
Right.
So when you put credit, and it ties all back to credit, when you put yourself in position to go get this money, and make sure as a game that you play with the banks that you're bank compliant and you know exactly what you need to get approved for, you triple or whatever the number you want to put on it, your sources of income. You don't put yourself in a position to go, I'm going to put my family in hurts for my dreams, but at the same time, I'm well positioned with these banks and I have a certain amount of credit lines so I can fund all parts of my business.
Right.
I don't need nobody to do nothing for me. Now, to end all that, he dropped a video, whoever it is, and Coach P. Oh, I'm sorry, P from QC label. I don't know if y'all think.
Yeah. Quality control.
Offset shoot him that DM like, yo, he gone. We gotta get him. All because you had the financial literacy to go, I need to build my credit up and I need to start spending my own money. Now you got that leverage to go to P and go, look, man, I got my own company behind me. I got my own sources of income behind me. You got to bring that money to the table. Instead of you going to a record label to go, please, can I get a record deal, please?
And now they done gave you a crazy contract.
And now you locked in and you got that 360.
They making all the money.
And you not. But at the beginning of all of this, like I talked about, it all started with you had good credit and that financial literacy to go, I'm going on my own name and I know how to get this money without y'all, but what y'all gonna do for me? What value will y'all provide for my brand and my company? So that's why I think everybody as a whole, but specifically rappers in general, they need to tap into using their royalties for the right things instead of just using it to pay for things. Go get you some more income. Go to these banks and know what you need to get approved for these personal and business financial products. So,
man, that was a gem.
Yeah,
that was a gem.
Yeah.
Man, I don't got nothing else after that.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, we're gonna wrap it up. Why don't you let the audience know how they can contact you guys?
Yes. So 3E Management Solutions LLC.com. If you know if anyone is looking for credit repair, had questions about how they can build up their credit or whatever the case may be, go to 3E Management Solutions LLC.com. Also, you can follow me on my personal Instagram, Gaylon Hughes Jr. on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Any of those things, and you, even if you're not ready to sign up for our services, you can see the content that I provide and what my company provides. It can build up your credit knowledge and also your financial literacy. No pun intended. But we can definitely take care of your services. And
Actually, I had 2 questions.
Come on, I told you we can do this all day.
So a lot of people, like you said, people always talk about I got an 800 credit score, I got a 700 credit score. It comes off a little discouraging to people that is like in the 400 or 500s.
Yeah.
But they don't know that just a couple hundred can get you a little bit of wiggle room,
more leverage,
a little bit more leverage. So they think people that got 400 or 500 think I ain't got 700, 800, man. I ain't about to be nowhere near that.
Correct.
Get my credit.
Correct.
Yeah. So what's that number to give them some type of encouragement?
So I would say again, I never put on a number, but it just depends on what you want. Now, typically with anywhere from a 650 to a 750, that's usually where I try to get people to. Now, granted, we all want to be a part of the 800 club.
Yeah, everybody
of course, and that's the ideal mindset you should have.
Yeah.
But what I would say on that is, people discourage people, like people from that higher credit score tier. They discourage people for those low credit scores, but they don't. Most of the time, those people that have those high credit scores, they don't have the credit report to back it up, and then the knowledge to even pass to them. And I think as a community and as a people, we have to stop doing that. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. So if you know, okay, they got a 400, 500 credit score, why are you holding the knowledge? Why are you holding the gems? Give that to them. Give that to them. They need it. They need it. So
and you don't know why they at that. A lot of people come in out of high school with that credit score because their parents messed up their credit score
and
don't do some stuff in their name as a kid.
Come on, and that goes into my point of I think everybody. I don't even care if you don't sign up for credit repair services. You have to have a credit monitoring service to monitor your credit. It's usually $20 to $30 with most of these companies, but you have to do it. You don't know identity theft. Your parents mess up your credit when they needed that bank loan or they need to put that utility bill in your name when you was 12 years old. Don't ask how I know that. I know a few people, but no, you just never know, and it's absolutely essential and vital that you know where your credit is going at all times. You never know when you need it. So yeah.
I just heard stories like people like, man, I came into coming into the world like I had bad credit. Like there wasn't nothing I could do about it.
A question I just thought of, which I was bouncing back and forth.
Come on, you're right.
That little boy that y'all said that do them videos.
Yeah.
Do he got a credit score right now?
I would hope so.
Listen.
I mean, he's at the point where he doesn't really need it, but I would think he has a good credit score.
He for sure gonna turn 18 and be able to
He
gonna have it already.
Let's just say he'll be financially stable.
Right.
He'll be alright.
I'm pretty sure a lot of that stuff is in his name.
Yeah. I'm sure if his pops has made $4 million off of opening toys, I think his son deserves at least to get some good credit. Just let me get a 750 in the credit.
Is there like a certain rate that you have, or it depends on the actual debt? Like,
can you elaborate?
You charge?
Oh yes. I'm sorry. So yes. First off, I always express this because a lot of these credit gurus, companies do not do this, but we start off with a free consultation to see if we can even offer you anything.
That's dope.
I'm in the space of where knowledge is over money because we need to get this, as we talked about earlier, this knowledge needs to be everywhere, every day, all day. Because if we don't instill this in our head, just like we like our favorite rapper or like our favorite basketball player, team, whatever, we have to have that in play. So to answer your question, yes, we do have rates. We have a free consultation. Once we're done with that, and if we can't offer you services and you want to sign up, it's $130 to start up, which is basically your document processing fee, and then also your first month subscription with our company. So it's $80 for the first month, and then $50 for the document processing fee. Now the document processing fee, that's for us to go, okay, we going to make your letters, we're going to send your letters off, postage, mailing them off, and all of those things into one fee. And then also going forward, obviously if you say with our services and we're able to give you the needs, it's $80 per month. Now, going into the personal credit funding and the business credit funding, that's going to be a little bit different, obviously, when that time comes. But from the personal credit side, once we're done with you, you can stop. Like, obviously, you don't want to keep paying $80 for once we fulfilled your needs.
Right.
However, if you end up messing up your credit or whatever the case may be, you can come back and it's still the same fee for $80 a month. and so on and so forth.
That's not bad when you think about what credit can do for you.
Right.
Man, let me tell you something. I've paid, I'm talking several thousands of dollars to get my credit repaired with credit gurus. Most of these people are charging a chunk fee up front, which is nothing wrong with that. I promise you, I'm not downgrading them because that's the way they want to market their services. However, I think it goes left when you can't promise them that we're going to get those things off.
So yours is guaranteed.
Mine is if you pay that service with me and I tell you what we're going to remove, we're going to do it. It's not an if and but. I don't play the middle game. I don't play the maybe we can't. No. If you pay for our services, we're going to do it and we're going to clean up your report and get you the credit score you want.
So like you said with credit repair gurus or I mean we also live in a world where people ain't right. They just out to
morally
take
not
everybody.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff. So what's some red flags
when dealing with other creditors? So everybody has their credit repair companies in general have their way of cleaning up credit reports. So the first thing you want to look at is when they ask you for those personal documents, it's a thing called an identity affidavit. So what that is basically if your identity is taken away or something happens to where it legit happens and that someone messes up your credit, that's a legal thing. However, it's not legal when the credit companies go, we're just going to tell the credit bureaus that your identity was stolen, you fill out this form, and we're going to clean your credit report. That's completely illegal, and that's not the moral way to do things.
Okay.
Now, I've seen personally and have invested in services that have done that. What tends to happen is, and it doesn't happen all the time, but it tends to happen is now that they completely cleared your credit report and they use that method of the identity theft, now you try to go get approved for a loan and they don't even have your social security number in their system. You give them your social security number several times and they're like, no, this is not it. You're like, what are you talking about? Like, this is my social security number.
Right.
What they didn't tell you is they also got rid of your social security number because you just filed for identity theft. And when you file for identity theft, you have to go get another social security number.
What?
Yes.
Whoa,
There's too many gems.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
So what the credit repair companies do, you gotta think about it. You got your credit done, that's it. We don't need to do anything else with you. But when you come back and you go, I messed up my credit, now what? It's pretty rare for somebody to get their identity stolen more than once. Can we agree on that?
Right. Yeah.
So if you go back to that and you try to fight that with the credit bureaus, that leads to a whole different legal things that nobody in this room want to give it to.
You done did this last year, the year before last, the year before last. I'm starting to think you up to something.
Exactly. So that's one thing. That's the first red flag. Just making sure that if you do file for identity theft, it's completely moral and it actually happened. Please do not let these credit repair companies do that to you because if they do, they're going to mess up your credit for the rest of your life. Secondly, companies guaranteeing things without seeing your credit report. Now, believe it or not, it is credit repair companies out there that don't do consultations with you and they just literally have a sign-up page. You will sign up and that's it. And they just ask for your social security number and the credit amount of logins that you have and they just go. Now you're paying, I don't want to say their names, but it started with LL. I don't know if y'all know, and I'll tell you off camera. But basically, there's companies out here who will charge you a fee every month and drag it for 3 to 4 years. I've seen people who paid a company for 3 to 4 years.
What? And nothing happened.
And literally they got 2 items off, and they got 20 to 22 items, but they're in position to pay that money, so they're not thinking of it as we are.
Yeah, it's little money.
It's just little money.
It's little money.
Correct. So what happens is
this man mortgage with that little money.
Man, exactly.
I take my 80
exactly. So and that's why I say that consultation is always the most important, because when you do that, you give them that confidence and that for sure of, listen, we're going to remove this and we're going to do it in this certain time frame. Now that time frame depends on the bureau or the credit bureaus, because they control everything. You have to wait 30 days for each dispute and all those things. But those are the 2 biggest red flags. If you don't see those, just be patient with any credit repair company you go with. It's a process. I tell people all the time, people come to us and go, I need my credit repair, but you've been messing your credit up for 15 years. You expect us to do this in 2 months.
Right.
That's not how this works.
Yeah.
You have to be patient with the process, and you have to be self-disciplined to go, I'm not applying for anything, and I'm going to let my credit repair specialist do that and do the process so I can be in position to where I don't have to go through this anymore.
Right. Now, a lot of, I'm speaking specifically to our community, don't have resources to where they know they can go to a credit repair company. So they might, they might go to somebody in the community that don't have a business though. How safe is that?
Yes, let's go into that. Man, I know we got to wrap up, so I'm going to try to hurry up and put this in. I know I'm gonna get some flack for this. I know I am. I'm gonna get some flack for this.
But it's important though because
it's not. Go ahead.
Because we are it's
deeper than business.
It's easy bait.
It's an
easy bait for our community because we don't have the resources. So it's easy to just go into that community and be like, I can do this for you right here, right now.
Exactly.
Because they don't know.
So with that being said, in my personal opinion, from coming from a family of entrepreneurs, if you don't have a limited liability license for your business, if you don't have articles of organization or incorporation for your business, or you don't have an EIN number for your business,
come on now.
if you don't have an actual website to where I can call you and I can communicate with that company, not personal Facebook Messenger or whatever the case may be, in my opinion. Nothing against anybody else, and I respect anybody else who will give money. But that's not a legitimate company to me. And the reason why is, one, to me, it's not professional. Two, it's not giving your brand or your company's brand or profile a good representation when you go to other people and try to collaborate with other companies. And last but not least, and this goes into the industry I'm in, banks hate it. When I say hate it, they hate it. Don't come into a bank and go, I don't have an LLC, an EIN number, or a website, or I don't have a phone number, I don't have a fax number, I don't have a physical address for my business, and expect to get anything from it. It's not going to happen. So I don't say that in a discouraging way. I say that in an encouraging way of having self-awareness to go, am I really... Am I really betting on myself, or is this just a side hustle? And if it's a side hustle, that's fine. Keep it at that. Keep making your money. Like, if any money that need to be made to you to provide for your family, do it. But if you're going into that other realm of going, I'm a legitimate business, I actually repair credit, do you have those sources, and do you have your profile in place to go, I can approach anybody, black, white, blue, yellow. My company is speaking for itself. Not just my personal name, but everything is in order to go, I'm legit, I have certificates, I have licenses, and you can see from my testimonials and my results that I am a legitimate business. For itself.
I like that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Gaylon.
Appreciate it. Listen, this is not going to be the last time.
No.
We have to stay on point to progress reports with the podcast.
Yes.
With 3E. And I think I want to close out on this point. Knowledge, collaboration is vital, and specifically Toledo, Ohio, and I think in our community in general. I think as brands, and I'm challenging each brand that has came out of Toledo, Ohio, start collaborating more. I don't care what it is. It could be financial literacy. It could be a fashion designer. It can be a hairstylist. As a community, we need to collaborate, because if we collaborate together, we scale together. When we scale together, we start upping our name and our actual position in this world. If we put the black dollar back into our community and keep that in our community, and also staying knowledgeable how to expand that for our community, we blow past anybody.
Sky's the limit.
At any point. For sure. And with me having an Italian wife, a Caucasian Italian wife, race is not a thing for me, but I would be lying through my teeth if I didn't say I am trying to contribute to the community in the most valuable way possible, and I know you guys will too. But we have to keep this knowledge going, because you don't know what it can do for somebody's life.
Right. Again, let them know how they can reach you again.
Yes, I'm sorry. We so caught up in conversation. Please, if you are looking in credit repair, if any of your family members, friends are looking to get their credit restored, please go to 3E Management Solutions LLC.com. And also, if you want to go view our social media pages, our platforms, any of those things, you can follow me on Gaylon Hughes. Follow me at Gaylon Hughes Jr. on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Also, our business has a Facebook and Instagram page. It is 3E Management Solutions, and we have all the content and sources that you need to get your credit restored. And please join us at 3E Management Solutions, where we can create credit that can lead you to freedom, for sure.
All right, we appreciate you guys' love and support. Please do subscribe, comment, let us know what you guys think about this. Follow Mr. Gaylon.
We're gonna get a lot of feedback.
Give us a lot of feedback. This was a very important conversation.
For sure.
Follow us on YouTube, Financially Lit, Facebook, Financially Lit 2020, Instagram and Twitter, Financially Lit 2.
Yes.
We appreciate you guys' love and support. I am Damo.
I'm Cool.
I'm Just.
And we are Financially Lit.
Yes, sir.